All right, let's get into the Microsoft hack, that global switch that was hit after Biden got his so-called COVID test positive. And let's tie these things in because we saw Hawk2 Girl not too long ago, and she's getting the spit ready for the hack on the Microsoft because Biden in his condition has a Microsoft going on. And for the second coming, you might have a little Microsoft and you need to get the hack going on. So this is where the dawn, Adonia, that means the Lord in definition. So this is part of the second coming of the Lord. This is when the Lord's wrath is going to be dished out. This is when people are going to know they're left behind. They're going to know they're in the so-called tribulation, great tribulation, whatever part of the tribulation you believe. If you believe in you're raptured out of here, okay, you're going to realize you're left behind in the great tribulation. If you think that you're mid-trib or post-trib or whatever, then you're going to realize you're in the tribulation or whatever. So this is where it's divided. But Southern Baptist, where I grew up or whatever, they taught the pre-trib rapture. So that's where everybody's going to know they're left behind in the great tribulation. So that's why I say the great tribulation. So you've had to go out a little bit and gathered up these things because it's when the time of all things written, all the heresy, I see, all those things are written and fulfilled. Okay, so the hack on Microsoft goes from one, the cold, the corona, the freeze, COVID, the crowning for the child, the birth, to the Microsoft computer, to the virus, to the freeze. It's going from the spiritual to the carnal in one way. And as the 70 weeks of Daniel ends on 7/20/24 of the stormy Daniels, okay, and that's also the long count on the 42 months of the false prophet. That is also the start of the 70 weeks of the Daniel storm into that carnal phase. So this is like perfect timing for this so-called global switch to turn off and turn back on because there's probably some type of worm, this virus, that's going to be maybe kind of spread. And maybe it's kind of like those bomb switches where if they cut the wrong one or whatever, it's going to like multiply or however kind of thing. And then we saw the Apple split on the iPad Go. So maybe this is where Android products or Bill Gates products, the Bill Gates, that would be tied to the old heaven and earth structure dying away. And the Xbox, the X marks the spot and all that kinds of things. So the Xbox leads to the Xbox in your hand with the X phone or whatever, because something may happen, and then Elon Musk comes out and says, just join here and get my free phone or whatever. Okay, and that would be the image given life and his name and all those other things that's playing out as far as the one side coming into control, because Mark Zuckerberg said that it's not just all one AI. There's different AIs. Different people are doing different things, and people are using these AIs for different things, okay? And Elon Musk is tied to the spy unit and so-called, you know how we're going back to the times where all things are made in America, okay? Well, Elon Musk and half your movie stars are not made in America. They are made from external areas, and this is where you have spies coming in from external countries. South Africa, Elon Musk. A lot of your stars you watch are from Canada. And if the stars, a lot of these stars are marrying people from outside our world, or marrying people in the UN and shit, like George Clooney or whatever he's married. These people are, she's a dude also, by the way. But Matthew McConaughey's married to a Brazilian chick or what. They're all, it's showing you this types of things, okay? So this is where Kanye West, getting off into some other stuff, but Kanye West is going to Moscow, and then he's also visiting Trump, and he's telling you about PayPal, Elon Musk, and Nike, and now they're friction or whatever. So this is like an old world, new world, and like two family units and whatever kind of thing is going on. But the backstage for Dawn coming back as a deadly head wound, the transfiguration, that transfiguration, that's all playing out, that pillow cover. All right. So the Esau, that Esau is tied to the eclipse you're being shown, the eclipse, the moon being turned to blood, and then the eclipse, the Kamala is the moon. So as he comes out, you'll see the moon light shining because it's getting later in the day or whatever. So that's where you'd see the two in the sky at once and whatever kind of thing. But the Trump, hold on, I got some notes here on this stuff. The Trump and Red Dawn, okay? We're being shown things opposite, okay? From the way I see it, there's three things going on. There's at least two, but maybe three. So Kennedy was a so-called Catholic, all right? On the world stage, Kennedy was a Catholic. And then you see Nation of Israel coming in before him. And the Bible is being used in such a way to control the mind, but it's actually it's a script, okay? It's a book of invisibility, but it's also a script, but it's being taught to the people as something it's not, okay? So the Red Dawn and what he's projecting, and the Kennedy and stepping up and saying, hey, there's a cabal taking over our nation or whatever. This is like Israel and the Red Door and the Rothschilds or whatever coming in and taking over America. And this is where you see the Dawn connected to his uncle stealing the papers of Tesla. And then you see him connected to Reagan and Bush and all these other things. And then the Bush was connected to the assassination of Kennedy and all these other things that's been going on. But as there's also a system where, like, groups of the heirs group, like Obama, they know about this takeover and they're coming over to preserve your nation. But as they come over to preserve your nation, they don't control the media and all these other things necessarily, okay? They may control one thing or whatever, but this is where the two lights are fighting, and where one, the media, the Dawn, he controls all of it, okay? He has all control of all the seven lights. So this is where he's coming to gather his nation, and they're coming in, and the Bel worship, the Israel. There's never a nation of Israel and all this other shit. That's telling about where we're going. It's brainwashing to get you to go where they want you to go. Okay? So the Bel worship is now. Satan is now. The reign of Satan is now. And that's the second coming of the Lord with the person. And the Satan is within all of us. The Satan is out there, that man gathering his army of Satans. And he's bringing them to battle. And he's resetting the earth by shedding the blood of all these people. And as he sheds the blood of all these people, there's going to be a new love formed out of this. And with the new love comes the new heaven and earth, and the new right and wrong, and the new good and bad, and all these things. Okay, so the Red Dawn invasion, the Red Dawn before you on the stage, the Dawn, the so-called Bush and Republicans or whatever, that's actually the party that told you that they're bringing the New World Order. And Reagan is the one who expanded the government 3 times the size that it was when he got in office. So basically what he could be doing, he's the actor, right? He can be coming in and opening up the government in a way to where they can work the spies into the system or whatever. And then we see Bush, he's the one who sold the aircraft carrier plans and other stuff to China, and now China has their aircraft carrier and it's way better than ours and all these other things. So this is where we see the transfer of powers and right in front of us, and the people are just blinded and I don't know what's going on, but I know what's going on. They got y'all so busy running around from this sport, that sport, this activity, school, work, whatever. Like, it's, I don't know what y'all are doing to yourselves, but there's all kinds of like mental hell y'all are doing, putting yourselves through. And it's like layers on layers and layers and stacked on top of each other. But either way, the actors, their perfect plot to work the spies, and also Epstein is tied to Israeli spies. So the Israelis, the Israel, the people who support this, they're working a so-called proxy nation through the red door, and they're coming in and infiltrating our nation and trying to take over our nation through the so-called Red Party. And the Red Party is your dawn of time and whatever. But as they take over a nation, they're also dividing the nation and bringing in a new America, because what the foundation of America stands on shapes the world, and through our trials and tribulations and these things, and as these things are taken or whatever, it's going to rise up a new America or whatever through this stuff. So, and also this ties in the American made stuff, and where we can see the beast system go down, and these people start doing new crafts and start selling their own goods or whatever, this way, that way, or whatever. This is kind of where we can see Jack Daniels, whatever it started. Jack Daniels started small. All these things start off small in these new heaven and earth, whatever, and it's going over to the next. But either way, dude, the Red Dawn invasion, the Microsoft hack, the switch on the world stage, all that shit is all upon you. And the Dark Dawn, he's been darkened. And the unity, and that's what Jesus spoke of, as the unity or whatever. As he speaks of unity, he's going to bring in the groups that bring that. He's the divide has already taken place. So now the divide has taken place. Those who are divided, he's bringing in together through unity. And as he brings them together, he brings in different pods. You understand? And these pods are going to go to fisticuffs. Okay? So, you can't preach unity because everyone is so divided, and they're so divided out of the hardness of their own hearts. And the people hate the people out there because they hate themselves. Okay? So, everybody is the grieve us. Everybody hates something about themselves according to the world. They have to change something about themselves. So if they have to change something about themselves, all these other people have to change themselves. And it's a self-eating beast and whatever else. So it's just where it just has to be wiped clean.